This will be one of those interviews maybe where like CNN in like 30, 40 years, they'll be like, they'll flash back to this. Like, remember when she was on Quoted and talking about this brand that she had just started, and then it'll be somewhere in Manhattan that they'll fast forward to, and you'll just be standing there.
I would love it. That would be amazing.
Those are the expectations we're setting.
Yes, exactly. That's right. Fashion Week and
today I kind of want to focus on something that I've really been impressed with from day one. And every time I take a deeper look into it, it's kind of like, whoa, this is even cooler than I thought. But I like to go to the source. I like to go and reach out and say, hey, let's find out the story behind it. And I feel like yours is pretty awesome. So first and foremost, Birgit DeVae, founder and maker of Johnny Banana Company. Welcome to Quoted.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
So you're one of the cooler people that I know, and how just good at what you're doing is. So I want to focus on the clothing company today, because that has really been the thing, like I said, on a professional level, that's just been so impressive. So the first thing, just give us a little background about, where you were when you started the company, maybe some of the inspiration behind that, and tell us a little bit about the start, if you will.
Yeah, of course. So I initially started Johnny Banana back officially in January of 2017. My mom and I opened it together on Etsy. And kind of to get to that point, like, I have been sewing my whole life. My mom is like the most talented, crafty person that I know. So I've always known how to sew. I just never loved it. I never really got into it. Like, I tried making stuff for myself and it was okay. It was kind of hit or miss. And my mom focused primarily on like quilting and twirl dresses and more of like your traditional type of sewing projects. So when Johnny was born, he is the tiniest little pipsqueak ever. So it's relatively impossible to buy anything for him from a store. Like, he was wearing his newborn size pants when he was 5 months old, and they were like capris, but they were the only thing that would fit his waist. So starting from a very early age, my mom started making him clothes, primarily pants. And I would get tons of comments on them, and I thought they were the coolest just because, they were handmade from my mom and unique. And so I had a friend that had a baby shower that first summer. So Johnny was born in March, and it was the summer after he was born. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to whip out the old sewing machine and give this a whirl and see what it's all about again. And I did, and I totally fell in love with it. Like, I started just making him clothes like crazy. I couldn't stop. And then it just kind of evolved. Like, I went to my mom, and we kind of got together and got the idea of starting Johnny Banana. And initially started on Etsy, and things went pretty well. It was kind of just, at that point, I was still primarily focused on making clothes for Johnny. But then through that summer in 2017 into the fall, my mom decided to kind of take a step back, and I created my own website. So I moved off of Etsy, and I really started pushing hard on social media and really focusing on growing that. A lot of the interest for me, especially in the beginning, was I was working, I used to work in IT. So I was working through the first year that Johnny was born. But when I stopped working, I was kind of like, this is awesome. I love being a mom, but I also kind of need something for myself. So I totally dove into Johnny Banana and focused all of my time and energy that wasn't focused on my kids into that. And it almost turned into my like therapy, just being able to, during nap time, go upstairs and make something tangible and hold it in my hands and be proud of it was just something I just became totally infatuated with. So since I kind of created my own website, and really this year, over the past couple months, things have just completely blown up. It's going crazy. Like, the growth is something I never would have expected. I had some of my social media, like my goal for the year was to reach 5,000 followers on Instagram by the end of the year, and I met that in August. So it's pretty exciting stuff. I'm just kind of blown away that it's at the way it's been growing lately, but I'm loving it and just kind of trying to keep this train going.
So I guess that's what I was hoping for, because I knew the story was good, but it's beyond good there. That's so awesome. And that all the little connection pieces of it, you know, I hate to say it, but I guess I took it for granted. I just assumed you and John were such a stylish household that you're like, I've got to make my own stuff. I guess you know, as a father that had, you know, tiny little babies myself, like I totally get where you're coming from. And I think that piece of it, even I wasn't even aware of that. So I really love all of just the little details about it. And the growth is the piece I'm not surprised about. Everything you've done, and maybe that's where we can jump into it a little bit on the marketing side. Like you're doing really cool stuff. Like it's catching my eye. And I imagine on Instagram, it's only amplified. So what have been some of the, you know, experiences that you've gone through taking your brand onto Instagram? And what are some of the things that maybe you think stand out to you that would call them tips, call them pointers, if you will?
For sure. So I do most of my marketing happens on Instagram. And then I kind of share everything through Facebook and Pinterest. But kind of the heart and soul of everything stems from Instagram. The biggest thing that I've found that's been like an absolute lifesaver is I use a scheduling app. Well, I have a virtual assistant who's amazing. I took her on a couple months ago. So she helps run my social media marketing and like email marketing and things like that, helping me on some of the stuff that was just like bogging me down mentally. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get these posts out, but I have to like sew these 18 things. So being able to kind of get that off my plate was amazing. And I'm obviously still very in touch with it, and we're talking about everything nonstop. But just kind of letting her kind of run the reins with that has been awesome. But there's a bunch of apps out there. The one that I use primarily is called Later, and you're able to just kind of schedule things out for an entire month. So you can kind of like focus all your energy for a couple hours, get all situated, and then kind of tweak as you need. So kind of definitely for other small businesses, like utilize the technology that's out there. It's amazing. But it's cool. The small shop community, there's like such a community of small shops, primarily like on Instagram. And it's such an awesome community. Like we all are helping each other out, like doing cross marketing and collaborations together. I've done a handful of collaborations with other small shops where some of them it'll be like I create a piece and another shop creates a piece and then it's released together as an outfit. Or there's a denim shop that I've worked with where we kind of did a piece together. So like I constructed the garment and then would send it to her and she would distress it and like make it look really cool and grungy. So things like that have been awesome because then you're, you know, exposing yourself to different markets and new people and just kind of building those relationships. The thing that has helped my brand grow the most, I think, is my team. So starting probably the beginning of the year, I started what's called my rep team. So it's a pretty common thing in small shops. I have a team of individuals who are like amazing, and they receive pretty steep discounts in exchange for photos. So I'm able to get photos and marketing, and then they're cross-promoting the brand, and it's awesome. And they get the benefit of getting stuff for a huge discount and the opportunity to get free stuff, and I'm getting kick-ass photos and promotion, and it's just kind of growing exponentially from all of that. And then ultimately you're creating relationships with these people, and it's just awesome. Everyone's kind of trying to help each other grow. It's a very supportive community. Like I have a bunch of friends now that we're like Instagram besties, I call them. Like I don't really know these people at all. They live all over the place. But just like being able to ask each other questions and bounce ideas off of each other, it's just huge and it's awesome. And that's probably the thing that I found most surprising. Like even some shops that are my direct competitors will, you know, where you do things together, there's giveaways or promotions or things like that, and everyone's just supporting each other and trying to help each other grow.
Wow. So the question that I was going to ask you after this was going to be about those pictures. And I was going to think like, hey, I'm going to be able to put in the show notes, here's some photography tips because it's really high-end pictures. But it's even it's, again, like everything else, it's twice as good as I thought it was. Like it's affiliate marketing at its best, but you're getting pictures. Oh my gosh. Like you're really hitting on a lot of cylinders on this. That's not that it's surprising. I'm not saying it that way, but it's one of those things where it's amazing to see that much detail in I guess, planning that you're putting into those things. And it goes beyond, like, these are things that spread into the industry. Would you say that regardless of it being clothing or some other thing, do you feel like just the collaboration piece itself is, it sounds like it goes beyond just, oh, it's just a B2B thing. You're enjoying it. You're connecting with people, right?
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. I mean, a lot of the people on my team, like they are actual photographers, like as their job. So I'm getting the benefit. I'm definitely not a photographer. I wish I was a photographer, but I'm really good at like iPhone photos, behind the scenes shots. But like I'm getting the benefit of that. And then they're also getting pictures that they can market and use, you know, for their own promotion. But a lot of people too, like it's in any industry, like, and I've been a firm believer in you never want to burn any bridges. There's never any reason, unless someone's like, you know, just being awful. There's no reason to ever burn bridges because there's no, like, nothing but horrible things can come out of it. Like, and not even, you don't have to like bend over backwards and be amazing to every single person like that you meet. Like some people are just, you know, better to just say, okay, goodbye. Like maybe our paths will cross again in the future and we can revisit things then. But like something, like I've seen some just businesses, and I know a lot of industries that like retail, especially, things get pretty vicious and people get really competitive, and it's just, there's no reason for it. There's so many people out there, like so many people have kids. People definitely love dressing their kids up. Like it's not, there's no shortage of potential customers, and helping other people out is only going to ultimately help you in the end, is how I believe it.
So you covered, and it's awesome because you covered so many of the different things, but it's such a process. It seems like it all fits together. So it makes sense that the conversation wasn't one kind of, here's a question here, and then let's go over here. All of it kind of comes together, and the amount of info that you just pumped in there, I can't wait to share it with people, because again, it crosses industry. It's not just because you're doing what you're doing specifically, but let's make a trade-off here, because you just dropped a ton on us that I know I'm going to go back and really think hard about. Let's talk about going into the holidays, going into the end of the year. Mm-hmm. What are some things that we can expect from your company? What are some of the releases that are coming out? And maybe you can even send me some of the pictures that we'll post at the end of the show so people can get a real feel for your brand. But what kind of holiday things should people be looking for from Johnny Banana?
Absolutely. So my holiday sets are actually dropping tomorrow. I kind of went with crushed velvet for the season. So it's sets. You can purchase them as a set or individually. There's a top and a bottom. You can either do head to toe red, head to toe green, or mix and match. And they are either red or green crushed velvet with black striping down the sleeves and the sides. So it's kind of a little edgy look. I wanted it to be, you know, to be able to be worn for Christmas Day, you know, but comfy and still kind of hip and unique for the kids. And it's also, because it's solid and black, it's something that doesn't just scream Christmas. Like you could definitely pair it with jeans or whatever and wear it any other time of the year. I also am going to have some awesome Black Friday sales. So you definitely should keep it locked on my social media. There are going to be some really exciting things. I didn't do a whole lot for Black Friday last year because Vinny was born in September and I was just had to focus on him for a couple months. But that's some pretty exciting things. I have a collaboration coming that's going to be dropping the first week in November. That's with a denim shop. So it's going to be an awesome combination of I'm making a top and then they have jeans. So I have, that one's just going to be released in my VIP group. So I have a group on Facebook. It's called Johnny Banana Co. VIP. So that's where just anyone can join. I have sneak peeks and sales, like early access to sales. People can post pictures. Like it's just a really fun group to kind of be together and talk about Jetty Banana and kind of anything in general. So that one's going to be available there with like a pretty steep discount at first, and then it will be available on the website afterwards. And then going into next year, I'm going to be doing my next search for my next team. So that's always a fun week. I usually have it going for a week, and then people apply. And then it's always impossible to narrow it down to the people that I actually pick to have on the team. But that's an awesome fun week. So that'll be coming the beginning of January. And possibly some other things. I have a bunch of stuff that's going to be dropping. Lately, I've been releasing new things about every week. I just literally can't slow my mind down. I keep telling myself, like, just focus on what I have. And then, I think I have like 6 or 7 different styles that will be releasing soon. And that's just going to keep going because I just have too much fun with it.
There's so many little things that I can't wait to kind of hash out and just kind of consider. Like I said earlier, I take notes in my head, and then I'm lucky I record this so I can go back and say, okay, yep. I'm going to do all those types of things.
I was thinking about it the other day. Like, it's social media is just, if it weren't for social media, my brand would not exist. Like, it just isn't something that would have been possible because I'm not, as a primarily stay-at-home mom, I'm not going to be like schlepping out to, buyers and going to trade shows and trying to get my stuff out there. Like, it didn't start with that intention. Like, it's evolved into something that absolutely I would love. I want it to keep growing and getting as big as it possibly can be. But it's just amazing what social media and just the whole like digital marketing like world has allowed for small shops, and like being able to grow and like create an audience and get in front of people that like I sell globally. Like, I have a bunch of clients in Australia, and I've sent stuff to Singapore, and I've sent stuff to Japan. It's unbelievable how like you're able to reach people all over the world that without that, it just would not ever be possible.
I think it's just so stylish. Go check it out after they see it. They're going to go check it out. But any closing thoughts here from you? What should we know? Anything I can add on to the end here?
Just shout out to my like awesome family, and like the support from my husband has allowed me to be able to do this. All the little things that hours that I'm spending at night sewing. It's like every time the kids are sleeping, nap, and after bed, I am sewing my face off. So it's just been awesome just having that support and being able to really kind of push forward in this, because it's definitely something that has become my like passion, my live and breathe. Other than my kids, they are my first live and breathe. Yep. But it's been just amazing.
Well, like I said, I can't tell you enough times how awesome I think what you're doing, and I want to make sure I try to. So thanks again for coming on the show. Birgit DeVae, Johnny Banana Company, some of the coolest kids clothing you're going to come across, I'm telling you, and the story's even better. So thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been great.